Hey, so welcome into the studio. I appreciate you being here. Who have we got with us? Tell us who you are, what you do at Village Caregiving, your title, all that good stuff.
Okay, so I'm Sheena Young. I am the Kentucky Community Liaison.
Yeah.
And I'm here to educate and help people with learn more about VCG and our in-home care services and how we can flourish and grow in that community. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being on the podcast. We have Nicole and Mike. I wasn't here for Mike's, but Nicole and Mike, the others in your department, they've been on the podcast, so we appreciate you being a trooper coming in.
Absolutely.
Not only to give us a chance to get to know a little bit about your position, but also just you, kind of at Village Caregiving, introduce you to the folks. You'll be meeting a lot of them for the first time in Orlando here coming up, so that's really cool. Jeff, what are you doing over there? You're in the middle of a newspaper?
I'm reading some social advice columns.
Okay. Anything good in there?
Boy, there was a doozy about an 11-year-old sculptor.
Oh, no.
I'll give you one. We'll start off with an early one. This is an easy one.
Okay.
I think this is an easy
Yeah,
one.
we've not done this before. We've not started. We usually end the episode this way, but we're going to start it this way. I like this.
I like this because what it does is it gives us a little window into Sheena's mind
I like that.
that will color the rest of the interview. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, that's great.
Everything is hinged
Maybe
on
it
this.
does. It's a window into all of our minds.
Here we
probably.
go.
This one is called Thanks for Nothing.
Oh, no.
Oh.
My husband took me to lunch on my birthday.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm. My parents took care of babysitting our children.
Even nicer.
Mm-hmm. Later, my mother-in-law, who was not babysitting, she's just out. I don't know what she was doing. Not in this story yet. Mother-in-law told me that the lunch was her birthday present to me.
Oh, okay. So she gave little Jimmy some money. Said, go take your pretty girl out for her birthday.
Turns out she did not.
Oh.
Okay.
My husband and parents are baffled. My mother-in-law didn't help with any part of the lunch. How should I thank her for this non-gift? Or can I safely never mention it again?
You can't safely never mention it again.
Oh, whoa.
She said, that lunch was my gift to you, even
Okay.
though you know that she didn't have anything to do with it. What do you do?
I mean, you ask her, I appreciate the gift card or the money that you gave to us to purchase this lunch.
Even though it doesn't exist.
No.
And she says, you're welcome. And
Yeah.
you say,
Just leave it at that.
Oh.
That's on her guilty conscience.
You're taking the high road.
I am taking the high road.
yeah, I'm never, ever bringing it up again. Yeah, I'm just like, oh, okay. I mean, she's clearly either, if it cost her nothing and me nothing and she feels good about it, what a win for all of us. So,
Couldn't agree more.
yeah, just
I
move
told
on.
you it was an easy one.
That's an easy one.
Who cares? She's got her own issues. You just say like, thanks.
Thanks.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Look, we need to talk about you. We need to talk about Village Caregiving. We have very, very important things to talk about. But one thing I have to know,
Okay.
and this is interesting, we don't know each other very well, right?
We do not. I just met you, went through the car wash.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do at VCG.
Here we are.
And
yeah.
here we are.
So we don't have a history of each other. You're honestly one of the first interviews I've done on here that I know very, very, at least usually with the like executive directors or DOs or nurses, I kind of know a lot about like what their job is like, even if they've not been here super long. I can kind of guess. I have no idea how your day is structured. I have no idea like what a successful week for you would look like,
Okay.
or a frustrating week, those sorts of things. So this is like, Sturgis is happening in Huntington. Sturgis came to Huntington this week.
Motorcycle rally.
Yeah. Oh my God, the gang is here. The motorcycle, the outlaw gang is in town.
Okay, you don't know Sheena that well.
No, Sheena. So
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be interesting
I
for
know,
you.
this is fascinating.
Okay.
And sometimes even when I don't know someone very well, I'll get ahead of it a little bit.
Okay.
Because sometimes, now Jeff is super prepared.
Always.
But there's been, there have been a time or two where he showed up and not been overly prepared for the moment, so I have to make sure I'm ready. Today, I've leaned into the anonymous side of this. I don't know much, and I'm going to learn just as we go along here. My question is, your spouse is a chef. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is that right? Okay. I've always wondered this. I've never interviewed the spouse or a significant other of a chef. At home.
Okay, he's being serious.
Yeah.
I didn't know
he
where
is.
we were going.
No. What is the splitting of the food duties?
Okay.
And B, does he ever cook something you're like, I expected more? I'm not gonna lie, you do hang your hat on this. Not to cause ripples in the marriage. I've just always wondered, like, when you know how it's a joke, you can drive through town and you can look and see like the home builder's house or the home repair guy,
absolutely.
because the gutters are falling off, the siding's half done, because they work on everyone else's house, not on yours. Are you getting Lunchables and chicken soup at the house?
So, full disclosure.
Yes. Let's get it out.
Full
here.
disclosure.
God, I'm excited.
I despise cooking.
Okay.
And was very upfront with him, over a decade ago.
Yeah.
That cooking gives me anxiety. I don't like the planning. I don't like the prep for it. I don't like the cooking. That is his thing.
Okay.
So he will come home and, like, when we were first dating, he would plate the dishes. And I would take pictures and I would send them to my sister. And she was like, oh, what restaurant are you at? I'm like, we're in my apartment.
Wow. Okay, so big game food here.
Oh, yeah. And he still does that. Like, our kids, they eat steak and salmon. They have since they were little. Our 9-year-old daughter sent her first steak back when she was 4 because it was not cooked medium rare.
Okay.
Yes.
So we've got problems. Okay.
No, but
Yeah.
he fixes really good meals all the time when he's able to do so.
That's my question. When you use the word all the time, are you ever like, can we just do Taco Bell tonight, please?
Oh, we do Taco Tuesday on a regular basis.
Okay, so you still eat junk.
Oh.
You still eat just...
Yeah, we still, we'll throw fries and chicken tenders in the oven. It's
Do you have
fine.
an air fryer?
We do.
Okay. Now we're getting... You guys are normal people.
We
You're
are
eating
normal.
regular people food
We are
out
regular
there.
people.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
But he likes to cook at home.
He does.
Yeah.
It's not like
Absolutely.
he does it so much at work that it's just I don't want to.
Like some people. And
Yeah.
and people are very nervous when they're cooking for him.
Yeah.
But he's just very appreciative no matter what it is.
Okay.
So Sheena, let's be clear. Sheena's husband is Bruno, who is the namesake of the restaurant that we own there in Barbersville.
Yes.
And so we had been going through that process for like a year,
Yeah.
right? And you were doing sales at. Talk a little bit about not the name of the place you worked, but just what you were doing in that role. What was your sales career like at that point?
So I worked for a home health agency for close to 10 years and was their senior home health sales specialist. And it was a skilled service. So I had to know a lot about what every nurse could do, every physical therapist, every occupational therapist, every speech therapist, every social worker. I had to know the ins and outs of all of that industry. Mm-hmm. And being able to go in and communicate and meet with cardiologists, orthopedic surgeons, neurologists, physicians, case managers, like just a plethora of people all the time to educate them on how to care for the patients in the home and what services we could provide to help them.
Gotcha. Okay. So we're going to talk a lot about that and your role at Village Caregiving, but it was weird to not just address that, right? So we've kind of known each other through Bruno for about a year or so, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on board.
I'm excited. I love it.
I'm flattered
great.
that you finally had an interest in it. I was kind of like, man, what's wrong with Village Caregiving? Sheena doesn't want to organize you. So Bruno though, he still likes cooking at home.
He does.
I'm following up on your chef question because I'm actually fascinated in this too.
Yeah.
Is he experimenting on new dishes at home sometimes for the restaurant, or just because he's always curious about it?
Oh,
or is
yeah.
it just because it just makes him happy and he loves to do it?
Both.
Okay.
So he'll try new dishes, and sometimes he's like, oh, that did not turn out. And they don't always. Not everything is perfect. It's trial and error.
Is
But-
that ever dinner though? And both of you are like, well, this sucks.
Yeah.
Now it's Taco Bell.
Absolutely. There are some times that we're like, well, that just didn't turn out too good. So we've got to figure something out.
That's
but
funny.
It doesn't happen very often, I will say that.
He is incredible. I'm going to plug my own restaurant here for a minute.
No, go ahead.
But he is insanely good, and I didn't know that. I've said this before. It's not like I'm telling secrets. So Bruno and I weren't friends before. I'd never had his food before. I'd heard excellent things about him. So I'm going to eat at that restaurant a whole lot anyway, because I live a mile away from it. It's really the only option that close that's like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, man, I hope I like this. Like, I hope it's good, because I'm going to eat there a lot no matter.
All the time.
It has exceeded every single expectation I could have possibly had. You could take the food that he prepares and drop that restaurant off in New York or Chicago, Paris, or whatever. I mean, I can get snobby about my food. Aaron will tell you, he's a more down to earth, relatable figure.
It's okay.
And so I'm pretty judgy about it, man. It's if I could have dreamt up something in 100 years, it couldn't have been any better. It is exceptional.
Okay.
What I'll say, because I don't want to say like I'm so biased, the menu is unique. It's not just going to be your typical, here, you can get your steak, you can get your salmon, you can get your fish and chips. Like, this is what we know most people are going to want.
Yeah.
It sells. He's curated the menu to be more unique than that and eclectic like that. So maybe the menu's not your, like, exactly every dish on there is not what you want, but what you find that you like, you're going to love it. Anyways, this is about you, not the restaurant. But I'm fascinated in the chef part of that too. And man, I tell you, our son is a real good cook. Cameron.
Oh, really? That's nice to hear.
It's awesome having a great cook at home.
Yeah. You don't cook at home.
I'd love to cook, actually, and I have the last few nights, and insisted on it tonight because I'm in this phase where I'm really liking it, but I'll get lazy before long, and then I'll want Cameron and Sarah to start doing it again. But boy, isn't it nice. After a long day, you're traveling all over Kentucky doing whatever you're doing, come home, and it's like a gourmet meal made. Whenever Cameron moved out, it was a real punch in the gut in that aspect, I'll tell you.
I see.
Yeah.
More Papa John's than you wanted, huh?
I like Papa
He
John's
does love
quite
Papa
a bit.
John's.
I mean,
I've watched
You're
this
a Papa
guy go
John's.
in on Papa
I'll be
John's.
door dashing some Papa John's this weekend.
Yeah, he'll get Papa John's.
Okay, and what's
This-
your favorite?
Pizza.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. I'm a big Colgrove Giovanni's guy. If you're from the area, you know you're specific, not just to the brand of Giovanni's, but the store at which you get it. I can see the Ironton Giovanni's from my house. No disrespect. And there are times where it's convenient. I just go get it. But I'm much more of a Colgrove Giovanni's guy. That's my delivery pizza option.
We're talking about Papa John's. If you just asked me, like, rank your favorite pizza places, that wouldn't even be near my top, actually. It'd
Papa
be like
John's,
5, 6, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do like that Papadilla. What Papa John's has, though, is there's times that I'm uniquely in the mood for just that pizza. It's
Yeah.
different enough that I'm like, I want that sausage on that pizza right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
But generally not my fave. What's your favorite pizza?
So since I have a gluten intolerance, I have to have cauliflower crust.
I see.
So my options are very limited. Yeah,
They've gotten pretty good these days, though.
they
Cauliflower
have. They're
crust,
better.
good.
Marco's is pretty good. Hudson's is good. My favorite place of all times used to be La Familia down
Oh,
here in
yep.
Huntington.
That's a good option.
Their pizza, their like pasta, everything was amazing. So it's really hard for me to not be able to eat that anymore.
Fuel has a good cauliflower.
They do. I do like Fuel.
That's
There you
my
go.
favorite cauliflower.
That's another one.
I have to tell you guys a story.
Okay.
Okay. This is wild. I don't want to oversell it.
Is it about a sculptor?
No, I don't write into the
Inside
New York
joke,
Times.
sorry.
This past weekend, the kids wanted to. They were stir crazy. They'd been sick all week. Very rare that we get sick in the house, and everyone was sick. Friday night, I look at the clock and I'm like, Daniel's like, we gotta get out of this house. I was like, I agree. When she's said that maybe 3 times in our marriage, I know we need to load these kids up and go somewhere. Right?
Smart.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of where are we going. It's not if we're going. Realize that let's go catch a movie. This would be good. Get the kids out. I love popcorn. I love movie theater popcorn. Right?
Who doesn't?
Yeah, I know. So Pearson, my son, he's got a girlfriend. All right. Now he probably isn't going to watch this, so I'm allowed to say this.
Oh, Pearson has a girlfriend?
Pearson has a girlfriend. Yeah, and it's super sweet, great kid. We love the family. We get along great. We're pretty certain we just want them to stay together because we love their family, and so it just gives us a reason to hang out. So Pearson says, "Can she go?" And we're like, oh, well, okay. I mean, this is new, but yeah, we probably have time. Well, where she lives, the closest movie theater was where I went as a child. And it's a little theater. It's not like a big city theater. It's a little theater. It only has like 6 screens. And Danielle says, are you sure it's even still open? Now, this is the theater where I had my first kiss, okay? And so I had memories there, right? So we pull in, and Danielle's like, are you sure this place is still open? I'm like, yes, the new movies are up there on the wall. Like, we're going in. We went in, and this place has not changed since the 1990s. I mean, I am talking, it is locked in time. They did update like the video quality and the sound quality, but the seats are the same. The curtains are the same. It was locked in time. And so we go in, and I'm super into it. I'm like, this is so awesome.
You know, he's thinking my son's might have his first kiss here.
No. What's so crazy is, think about this, it's just God, he would murder me for these conversations. But we were about the same age. Oh. And I know. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Now for my daughter, who is 9, she's like, I make this joke to Danielle. I forget my daughter listens to everything. I make this joke to my wife about like, hey, first kiss was Theater 1 over there. And Emma hits me with you and Mommy's first kiss was here? No, we did get together very, very early in life, but not that early. So
what'd you say?
I said no. I was honest.
I would have lied right there.
No, I'm not.
It's not a big moment. I'd have been like, yep.
Well, but it was so crazy. I mean, by the way, the popcorn was awful. I wouldn't recommend it. It was the worst movie theater popcorn I'd ever had. Oh. It was so bad. But
burnt?
It was just weird. I don't know what was
maybe
going
stale.
On
Like
Danielle ordered like a soft pretzel. And they like opened it up like a honey bun out of the plastic wrap and threw it in the microwave in front of us. I'm like, what is happening here? It was exactly what you would think it was in that regard. But it's a little family-owned theater now. It was so, I don't know. I remember going and watching Jurassic Park there. Like, it was so cool to go back and see that.
Did Pearson sneak a kiss?
No.
Did he hold a hand?
I can't talk about those things.
I
But I don't
Pearson,
think so.
sorry, buddy. I'm not trying to embarrass you, man.
Yeah,
he's a great kid.
He's a super sweet kid.
Good young man.
Yeah. But
let's get back to Sheena.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know.
No, you're fine. I like
yeah.
to hear interesting stories.
Yeah.
Got any good stories from recently?
Yeah.
Me?
How about any work stories?
Oh.
It's been a few weeks.
It has been a few
You
weeks.
been out on the road any?
I have.
Most memorable moment?
I mean, I've managed to venture out with Mike and Nicole, so that was fun. We've each learned a lot from one another. It's a great team to work with. It's very exciting. Mike keeps me laughing on the road all the time. We can joke.
Funny dude. He's always got a joke or a prank or something for you.
We do. We stop and buy scratch off tickets. And
I see.
That's like the thing we like to do. Yeah.
You like scratch off lottery tickets too?
Occasionally.
Or has this guy just...
I think it's kind of funny. It's kind of fun,
Yeah.
Some of my
Not all the
favorite
time it has to
stories and times at Village Caregiving has been windshield time with someone else at Village Caregiving.
Oh, yeah.
Like, one of my favorite trips was with Matt to Martinsburg. I mean, like, when you are stuck in a car, when the time we brought the rental car back from Quad Cities, like, some of my favorite stories is just when you're stuck in a car with someone from Village Caregiving for hours like that. You're driving all over Ohio or all over West Virginia with Nicole, with Mike, and you just get to know each other. Like, you're just in there.
You're there. Yeah. Corey and I made it to Lexington and back the other day. It's just, I talk a lot.
Okay.
I mean, I can talk to that wall behind you.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I will find some topic of conversation just to get to know people, what they like to do, their interests, their pet peeves.
What kind of places are you visiting generally?
So my main target is to look at physician offices, case managers, social workers in the hospitals. And then once we get Medicaid fully up and going, then some high-rise apartments, low-income housing, those sort of things. Do a lot of community events those sort of things.
Places where people need a lot of help. Yeah.
And, the world we live in, a lot of people need help. They just don't know the services are out there.
For sure.
And a lot of people that I'll go into, I was in Louisa last week and went into the hospital and went into a few physician offices, and they're like, oh, this is fantastic. Like, we've never heard of anything like this before.
Mm-hmm.
Had you ever seen the truck stop that looks like a castle down there before?
Oh, yeah. So I'm from Virginia originally.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So that's kind of like the stopping point.
It's on the way. What part of Virginia?
When I go home to visit my sister, she lives in Lebanon,
Okay.
which is maybe like 15, 20 minutes from Abingdon.
Okay.
So I pass the castle and I will text them I'm at the castle. So they have a window of when I'll be there.
Yeah, if you want to Google Louisa, Kentucky,
Yeah.
Castle truck stop, you'll see it. Looks like Castle. No one
Does.
knows why.
Yep. Always
Can't-
stop there, going and coming back.
Makes no sense. Someone in Louisa, Kentucky thought, you know what we need? We need a truck stop, but not just any truck stop.
I know what you're talking
Castle.
about.
I
Yeah.
know you do. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
once upon a time it was something else.
Yeah. If you're ever down towards Prestonsburg, when you go down and see Brittany and the gang at Prestonsburg, Billy Ray's, fantastic restaurant. Make
Okay.
sure you pull in there. It's right down the street from the office. Exceptional. They have the cakes up on the counter. Usually have like a special Monday through Friday. Big family diner guy. I am.
What do you think about that?
I mean,
Oh, don't. Don't.
it depends. Some are good, some are not for me. It's okay.
It's about the experience.
Yeah.
There's something here about nostalgia. I mean, that's part of the reason. I like. What do you get when you're there? Breakfast type food, or do you just?
Oh, if they have chicken and dumplings, I'm all in on that.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Nostalgia creep into your life very much? So here's what I'm asking. I'm a guy that I'm very futuristic looking. We've talked about this. I would buy a newer house. He would prefer one that's got a lot of history to it and it's 100 years old and
Okay.
stories with it and
Right.
stuff. Where you fall on that scale?
I'm newer.
Oh,
It's just easier. Like, I want the new, remodeled, more modern, like, futuristic looking home. I do like some things that are more eclectic to bring it in. I mean, my house falls in the middle, but
Yeah, there's more to it. So a lot of people might think, well,
Yeah.
you just prefer that kind of a house. I don't think that's it. And so I asked that in conjunction with, what do you think about diners? That's a nostalgia type of vibe that you're searching for something there
Yeah.
that speaks to you. And I think it even shows up in the type of shows you watch, books you read. Last night I watched, Sarah and I, like 2 or 3 episodes for bed, like the Amazon series called Mars
yeah.
that bounces back and forth. It's a sort of drama / documentary. So it's in real time with a lot of documentary footage from 2016 is what they call it. But Elon Musk is on there and a lot of SpaceX stuff. But then it's in the future. The dramatic part of the show is 2037, 39, and how we've colonized Mars, et cetera. Pretty cool show. I gravitate towards something like that a lot. And I would not ever find myself watching a show about World War II history. You would probably be more
That's your
interested
thing.
in something like that.
Yeah. Weirdly, I have an interest in SpaceX, have no interest in space travel. As you're describing that show, I literally was sitting here thinking, I'd never watch that. There is nothing about that show
Right.
that would interest me.
There's,
so I still remember.
what is that?
As a kid,
Tell us.
watching the Jetsons. Does
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
know what
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is? Okay. So
Do you like that show?
I did as a child, and growing
Okay.
up, all I could think of is how I want that robot, and how I want like it to come and put my makeup on every morning, so I don't
see.
have to wake up and do this.
No, that's fair.
What did we talk about a couple weeks ago? If I could put my little buddy Kingsley, my chat GPT, into a human form, have him walking around with me.
Run him around here.
That's the same as Rosie on
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Jetsons.
Yeah, we're living. I mean, we're here on Earth at the same time, allegedly. Who knows? This could be something. But assuming that we're here on Earth at the same time, we're just living it differently. I'm very blessed. I have a great truck, right? I have my dream truck, a 1500 Denali. Okay,
You have the best
yeah,
truck.
I'm sitting at a red light yesterday, and there is a 94 F-150 four-wheel drive sitting beside me, and this thing is pristine. And I'm looking over that guy, and I'm like, man, that guy maybe has the best truck on the road right now. And I'm sitting in a Denali trim pickup that has literally every comfort feature that GMC offers. And I'm just looking over that, and I'm like, what went wrong in my life? You know, why am I looking over at this guy in a 94 manual steering F-150 going, that guy, he's got it. He's got the truck.
It's clearly nothing has gone wrong.
Well,
You're being
you know
silly,
yeah.
but have you ever thought about why that is? Like in a serious, thoughtful, reflective way. Why do you like old stuff
I
a lot?
just lean into it. It's really odd.
You could figure it out. It might take you months
I
to
was
go
hoping
up.
Sheena was going to give me an answer.
Well,
There,
Sheena, what do you think it is?
Would you analyze this for us, please?
Can I analyze this? I can try to. I feel like it's part of your culture and, you know, how you were exposed to things growing up. Like if it's something that you were really interested in as a child and just kind of stuck with you. You know, we all have different personalities and quirks about us. So I think that's really neat, though.
An appreciation
Yeah,
for tradition.
absolutely.
And,
I don't fully get that, but
Yeah.
I appreciate like when I can see someone display those types of things, because then I do get more of an appreciation for it.
I see.
And a lot of times you probably have a story.
Oh, well, that's, according to multiple people. I was recently involved in a legal case, and that they gave me unsolicited feedback that I talk too much. So it's fine. So yeah, you got that part. So.
They did. I don't know how much you're allowed to talk about that, but
yeah. So
please, if you don't mind, Aaron, indulge us in exactly what the counselor in this lawsuit told you there.
So,
you were a witness.
I was a witness in this lawsuit.
This is from some old job.
This was
This doesn't involve our company.
This was years ago, and it just due to COVID, it just finally worked itself through the legal system. I was asked to participate, and so I spend weeks preparing with outside legal counsel, preparing this testimony. And all along, I'm like, look, I'm incredibly coachable. You can say anything to me. Once I signed up to do this, just get it out of the way. You can't hurt my feelings. I'm here for the. They're like, okay. So they gave me feedback along the way on different things. And so I get down to the courthouse. I've never testified in court before. And so I'm sitting there in this this witness holding room. And they tell me like, hey, when this door opens, it's going to be us coming to get you to bring you out there. I'm like, okay. That morning had prepped for 2 hours. Okay. And they had given me very hard feedback about certain things and told me which way the case was going, blah, blah. So I'm in there. Jeff has a breathing exercise that he actually did it the other day in a meeting, right? And so I kind of cleanse myself to this breathing exercise. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to be honest and true to who I am. I've done all the prep I can do. I'm just going to go in and tell the truth. And it is going to be what it is. And I'm sitting there and I hear footsteps and the door opens, and it's the attorney that was working with me. He goes, hey, real quick, you're not coming out yet. But I just want to let you know, you sometimes talk too much. If you could just not talk as much, that would be helpful. Oh. Thank you so much. And then just shuts the door.
Oh, he was serious.
Dead serious.
Oh. Okay.
And then the next thing I hear is the bailiff say, all rise. And now I have about 30 seconds to be like, all right, well, how much of my words should I trim back before I go out there? So I came back, and I'm very self-deprecating. So I came back and I told everyone, like, well, apparently he thought he was the first one to ever tell me. My mom's been telling me that my whole life.
That's an odd time to lay that on you.
I mean, it really is. And you had already been through your breathing exercises. You were prepared. You were ready.
In the moment.
In the moment.
Yeah,
which, by the way, has stuck with me since day one.
The breathing exercise.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, cool.
Like, I have told everyone this story. You know, I've talked to a lot of family, friends, previous coworkers of like, oh, how was your first day? And that's the one thing that I said to them. I go into this executive meeting knowing some people, not knowing some people, but it wasn't like all shop talk, you know? It was getting to know people, getting to like get in tune with everyone and how we're going to work as a team. So that was
well. I'm glad that it was taken well.
Yes.
That doesn't mean it was for everybody. Some people might find value in that and some not, but I hope so. It does a lot for my life. I mean, the goal of whenever we just say take whatever, it could be 90 seconds, it could be 4 minutes, or it could be 15 seconds. So you could do this in an elevator before you get off, like just a second to reset, take a few deep breaths, and the point is to not show up in the next setting because this phone call makes you so mad, and then you got to go into this meeting. You don't want that to color this or when you go home. So it's just a way to reset. And it's so simple, and it produces huge effects. But who actually does stuff like that? You got to make it. You got to make it a practice.
You do.
What do we got here?
Well, I was just looking through this card, and I've been wanting to ask you this anyways, and so this kind of works out.
Okay.
Do you have any friends that you consider family?
Absolutely.
Wow. Do you think that's an Appalachian thing? Do you think do you think people in Arizona are like, I have friends that consider family? Or are we
Yes.
just country like that?
No, it's all across the place. You're born into your family. You don't get to decide who they are.
Oof.
I love my family.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong.
Even the Virginia family?
I do.
Okay.
Like, absolutely. But
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either.
Okay.
sometimes
nothing.
we have different beliefs and outlooks on how things are for our day-to-day life. And I feel like you need your friends there as your family. I mean, I have no family here. And my neighbors, my friends, those are my family. Like, I literally know that if I can't get home or my mother-in-law can't get there in time to get my daughter off the bus, there's a million people in my neighborhood that will be like, hey, I have your kid.
Yeah.
What do I do with her? I'm going to keep her at my house. Do I need to text your mother-in-law? Are you going to be home soon? Like, there's been issues that comes up at school. Teachers will call and text and be like, here's what's going on. I can help her. It's just, we're very fortunate people, and like our friends are very helpful. So.
Yeah.
How did you get here from Virginia?
Work.
Okay.
Yes. So I graduated as a physical therapist assistant.
Okay.
And work in a very small area called Phelps, Kentucky.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Where's that?
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's in that kind of dead area.
It's like kind of
Eastern Kentucky?
it's kind of near Gilbert, West Virginia.
Okay. Yeah. So southeastern Kentucky.
Oh yeah, it's very tiny. So and my boss at the time, because I was going to go back to school to be a nursing home administrator, he says, you're in the wrong business. I was like, what do you mean I'm in the wrong business? He was like, you need to be a pharmaceutical rep. I'm like, I have no clue what that is. I was like, so I sell drugs? Like, what? What are you talking about?
Good question.
Yeah.
So
he kind of elaborated a little bit, and I decided to get my bachelor's degree in healthcare administration with a minor in business management, and transferred from what was Kindred home care at the time. They had a hospital in Norfolk, Virginia. I phoned my mom. I was like, hey, Mom, I'm moving in 2 weeks to Norfolk, Virginia. And she was like, what? I was like, yeah, I already found an apartment. I need you to come and help me. So there I went. Was there, worked there in a rehab hospital. And my best friend, who was an attorney at the time in Charleston, I was looking to get my nursing home administration license. And she was like, oh, there's tons of skilled nursing facilities here. I was like, all right, I'm coming. So I packed up and moved.
to Charleston, West Virginia.
I did.
Huh.
I've always been very career driven.
Yeah.
So wherever I find the opportunity, that's where I just go.
Wow.
So.
He thinks about moving to the beach sometimes.
I daydream about it.
You know, it was nice.
Not just a regular beach.
Oh,
Very specific. Palmetto Dunes in Hilton Head.
okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
I just, I'm not a beach guy. It's not like I'm just living I just like that place.
Oh, I like.
Actually, if
I understand.
If the beach left, I think I would still like it.
Oh.
Just everything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sheena, if you could snap your fingers and go somewhere tomorrow, your family, vacation,
Ooh.
unlimited money, unlimited, you got 2-3 weeks. Where would you go to?
Fiji.
Why is that?
I've just always wanted to go there. It's just elaborate.
Beautiful,
It's
yeah.
beautiful. It's calming. It's
Exotic.
surreal, exotic. Yes. All the things.
I've never been.
Yeah.
I'd like
Really?
to. Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you this: when you left Norfolk and you ended up in Charleston,
Yes.
all right, now you've kind of lived in Charleston, so kind of in our area, right? So you're still in this
Yeah, I was
area.
there for a while and then moved to Hurricane.
Okay, all right, so you're still kind of in the area. Throughout that process, did you find yourself to be truly free? You like that?
Okay, now Wait. Can I?
Do
This is
whatever you
a
want.
game in itself. He's going to read cards out of this deck of like
Truly,
get to know each other,
Truly free.
but surprise you and
Okay.
work them in.
Okay. So truly free, as in when I moved there.
Are you living a life right now that you would consider truly free?
No.
There's no right or wrong.
I mean, when you're married and you have children, you have responsibilities. You know, when you're single and living with your best friend,
Oh, there's a freedom with that. Okay.
you know, the options are unlimited. So,
What if you were totally single, financially independent, also had an apartment, you just totally different life worked out a different way, and you're sitting there, Aaron or Sheena or Jeff, and you live in, we're gonna say you live in Omaha, Nebraska.
So weird. I was going to say Tulsa, Oklahoma.
I picked the middle of the country.
yeah, you did.
Tulsa, I'm changing it to Tulsa.
Okay.
Okay.
You get up in your apartment there. You got the whole day to yourself. It's a Saturday. Are you free then? Are you totally free? You living free?
I feel like you choose your time more wisely that way.
What then
But
might
being
you be
free
encumbered
is-
by?
Well, I don't know what is in Tulsa. So,
Run of the mill sort of Midwestern city. It's got. I'm not trying to
are
pick
we
on
gonna- Are
Tulsa
we gonna
here.
go
They got some.
horseback riding?
You could. You have the money to do it. There's
you know,
horses there.
Is there hiking there?
Yeah.
Probably a little bit of everything there. Are you free? Aaron?
I didn't interpret this question as much in free time as I did free will.
Okay.
That's where that's where
That's where your
there's-
headspace is
That's what I'm
going.
saying. Yeah, there's no
Okay,
right or
that's
wrong
different.
here. It's like when, so in that case, free will, does that come through financial independence? Does that come? Oof.
I guess that just means are you living your destiny out? I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Now
I bet
we're,
that's
now
why
we're
this
getting
is-
deep.
Now
I
we
bet
are
this is
getting
why
deep.
this is
Now
a
I'm
red
gonna have
card
to,
for
like,
sure.
Think about this one.
Yeah, well, don't
Free
make any
will and
life
free
changes
time.
based on it. It's not. It's not what this show's about.
I really like thinking I have free will. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Given my personality type. My church says free will right on the front. It's fact.
Okay.
What else can you work in there?
Well, one thing.
We got time for one more
Yeah,
question.
one thing that I had been wondering.
He's really been wondering it.
And no, I couldn't remember because I was like, there were so many questions I had for Sheena where I'm just because we don't know each other.
We don't.
But my God, do we know each other
It's okay.
now?
We can
right?
catch up
Yeah,
after.
yeah. You always have this legacy concern, right? As we become adults and we leave stories behind us and interactions with people and we live in their memories. What kind of person do you hope to be remembered as?
As a kind individual,
Kind.
yes. Very well liked, very helpful, very personable.
Okay.
I'm not seeking to be like a bank robber.
Oof.
And that's how you're like, I was reading, some things, and that's kind of people, how they want to be remembered. Some people want to be a legacy of, here's their famous quote at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
mine is,
She was
Being
kind
kind.
and considerate and
Yes.
helpful and a great personality.
yes,
Just a pleasure to be around.
exactly. Happy, fun, outgoing. Life of the
I
party.
think you're achieving that.
Yeah.
I watched the Joker for the newer Joker movie
yeah.
for the first time finally the other night. That's somebody that kind of didn't care how they were famous, is they just wanted to be known forever.
Just to be
Yeah.
known.
Let me ask you, can you have any famous last words if you're somebody nobody knows?
We have yet to get to the bottom of this.
No, I don't know. there a way to like publish?
See if
those
it's ever
ones?
happened.
See
All
if
you got to
that-
do is give me one instance of it, and I can definitively say the answer is yes.
It's kind of like, we went through this. I don't think you get to the bottom of that barrel.
What if the last words are so good that they make you famous?
I know.
This
Then
is
you've,
real paradox.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well,
Okay, Sheena, do you have any words of wisdom to leave us with today? Or in the alternative, something weird you've seen lately in the news or social media that's kind of a weird fact that you've been mulling about in your mind, or anything you've been thinking about?
I've got one while you're thinking.
Okay, go ahead.
He'll buy you a moment. What's
Yeah.
yours?
Yeah, please do.
Those dang monkeys that got out of that lab the other day. What, did you see that in the news?
I saw they're running around Nashville, is it?
No,
where is it?
they're in like South Carolina,
South
off
Carolina.
Monkey Island.
Okay.
A new person left the gate open.
Yeah,
and
I
these
saw this.
43 monkeys.
And people
get
have
out.
started cheering for them, like they're
Like,
out there
yeah,
living their
go,
best
monkey,
life.
go.
Yeah.
Now these silly monkeys are hanging out around the fence. They don't want to go anywhere. They're just hanging out there. But these monkeys were on an island, on Monkey Island, not that long ago, and they trapped them and brought them into the lab to start interacting. Google Monkey Island, South Carolina. I'm not making this up.
This is real.
There's an island where like these primates live, and then once they need them in the lab to start interacting with humans, they go trap some of them, bring them in, and then they start kind of getting them used to humans, socialize them a little bit. But these monkeys they got most of them. By the time this airs, they'll probably have all of them, but they got like most of them the other day.
Son of a gun.
But question me about a lot. The news is my thing. It's-
18 are still on the loose as of yesterday.
people just
So
freak.
basically, word of wisdom is make monkeys your friends. Is that what you're saying?
Well, they said that they've never been tested or anything. There was no risk to the human population. But what's crazy is how many of these monkeys have gotten out in the past. This lab is notorious for letting a couple monkeys out here or there, and it's like, boy, oh boy, what are you gonna do?
Did he buy you any time to think of anything?
He bought me a lot of time, but now I'm perplexed over this story.
Fair
Well,
enough.
it doesn't have to be very good. Just say anything, really.
Just say anything. So
Just kidding, buddy. It was excellent.
Thank
Sheena, give us your words of wisdom. Piece of advice.
piece of advice
Yeah.
is enjoy life to its fullest and appreciate what you have and the people that you have in it.
Amen.
Well, that sounds wonderful.
Cheers. Thanks for doing
cheers.
this.
Cheers. Thank you guys for having me.